Good morning. My name is Sharon Raven, and I want to apologize for looking down at my notes, but if I did not have notes, I would ramble. Anyway, I joined Mary Kay in February of 1995. It was like 8 or 9 months after moving to a brand new city where I knew hardly anybody, from a city where I had lived for 38 years, where I knew practically everybody. So when people say, I don't know anybody, or I just moved here, I'm like, oh, no, that's not a good reason to not start a Mary Kay business, because I was in exactly that situation. Just a little bit about me personally. As long as I was able to wear makeup, whenever Mom let us start wearing makeup, I did not leave the house without it. That was just me. We would go down to the beach cabin. My parents owned a beach cabin, and we would be going to the beach to spend the day by the water, pack our lunch and everything. And I would take a shower, wash my hair, put on my makeup, and my sisters and my friends would go, "Why are you doing that? We're going down to the water for the day. Why are you doing that?" And it just made me feel better. And I have always done that. So fast forward, I meet my husband and we get married. We were both college graduates, had professional jobs, making great money. I just thought I would work full time until I retired. My job was my life. And that was until I started having my kiddos. So it wasn't until after I had my third son that I decided I didn't want to work a full-time job, 8 to 5, Monday through Fridays anymore. I just didn't want to do that. So Matt and I talked about it. We prayed about it. And finally, I decided to resign from a very good job that I had had for 15 years, so I could be more there for my family. I continued to do some contract work, which was good. That brought some money in. I could do it in my pajamas from home. But I kind of started looking for something. I thought, I've been hearing about these home-based businesses. That sounds, intriguing to me. I actually came very, very, very close to selling Premier Jewelry right before we got transferred to Conroe. But, my husband and I, again, we prayed about it and just did not feel led to pursue it. So shortly after that, we got transferred to Conroe. So we moved here. And, back in the day, we had welcome wagon companies that when you moved to a new area, they would bring you this basket, and it told you about doctors, dentists, restaurants, churches, boutiques, just, how to change your voter registration, how to change your driver's license, just all this cool stuff. So I actually got 2 baskets from 2 different welcoming type companies, and they each had a Mary Kay card in there for a free facial. So I called both of those people, and Kathy Heyman, everybody knows Kathy Heyman, right? Kathy Heyman called me back, and actually the other lady never did. The other lady never did call me back. But Kathy called me back, and she came over and gave me a free facial. I was needing some cosmetics at the time because I had been buying from Avon from my neighbor when I lived in Beaumont. So I had run out of some things, so I needed some things. So I purchased some items, and of course she did, as any good consultant. She was a director, but as we were trained to do, she encouraged me to host a party. So what I said to her was, let me ask some of my friends. I did have some friends. I'd only been here for 8 or 9 months, but I did have some friends. Not very many friends, but I did have some friends. And I said, let me check with some of them and see if I can find people that will not only come to my party, but will buy something. I mean, I was smart enough to know to get those hostess credits she was talking about. I had to not only have people come to the party, but I needed them to purchase items from the party. So I started asking some of my friends. Everybody that I talked to was so excited, and yes, let's do a party. And so I hosted a party, and then I got my friend. She hosted a party from my party. Now, let me just say, back in the day, we called them parties. That's been very hard for me, but they're skincare classes now. We call them skincare classes now. But back in the day, in the 90s, we called them parties. So anyway, by the time my friend could have her party that she had booked off of my party, I had decided to join Mary Kay and become a consultant. Several things I'll just tell you that appealed to me about Mary Kay. First of all, I loved the product. I had fallen in love with the product the day Kathy put it on my face. And that's very important. You don't even feel like you're selling when you're selling something you love. I loved the product. Also, I loved the fact that Mary Kay promoted God first, family second, career third philosophy. I loved the Christian-based company that I was associated with. I loved the fact that I made my own schedule and I could build my business around my family. Now, over the years at different Mary Kay functions and things, I've heard ladies say, I've never missed an event of my kids. I've never missed a thing. Well, I'm telling you right now, they must not have had 4 of them, because I did miss some things of my kids even before I started Mary Kay. I mean, when you've got 4 kids, it's crazy. And there were times that I had to miss things. But the beauty about Mary Kay was that I got to choose what I missed, or if I was going to miss it. That was my choice, not a boss in an office telling me that I couldn't go to my son's kindergarten graduation. I mean, I got to choose. I got to choose what I had to miss. But yes, I did choose to miss some things, but that was my choice. That was my choice. And probably one of the most important things, I told you that I'd almost sold Premier at one time, but something that was very, very interesting and appealing to me was the fact that Mary Kay was a consumable product. So I was smart enough to know when my customers ran out of cleanser or lipstick or blush, they were going to need some more. And that residual income was definitely a plus. So another thing that was very important to my husband was the 90% repurchase option that they have. His first response, he was very supportive, but he was like, you have a computer science degree, you're a math person. What if you hate this? Or what if you're terrible at it? And I explained to him that I could return, all the product that I had purchased within the last 12 months and get 90% back of what I paid for it. And that was enough. That was enough to get him on board. He thought, well, that's a good plan. Because I did come in with an $1,800 wholesale order. I just thought business-wise, that was the smartest thing to do. So that eased his mind. But me, in the back of my mind, I had absolutely no intentions of ever doing that. Now, I did have a concern, something that kind of almost held me back about starting my Mary Kay business. And it seems so silly now, but it was meetings. I was like, meetings. I mean, we had only been in Conroe for 8 or 9 months, but my kids, my boys, I have 4 boys. Those of y'all who know me know that I raised 4 boys. They're grown men now, but they were, my oldest was 9 and my youngest was 3. 4 boys at that age, those ages. They were involved in sports, in school. We had already joined a church, so you know how that goes. I did not have time for another meeting, and I just thought another meeting. I don't know about that. Well, Kathy assured me that if I would just come to 4 meetings and get my training, I would not have to go to another one ever again. So I thought, okay, that was my plan. That was my plan, to go to my meetings and get my training. And then I was not, had no intention of attending another meeting, but let me tell you, I was hooked. I was hooked on my meetings. they became a top priority of each week. Each week, my Mary Kay meeting was my top priority. So I began to work very hard holding parties, like I said, AKA skincare classes. And I would have 10 to 20 a month. But I built a very, very strong customer base, and also began to build a team, not even trying. I never wanted to be what you call pushy, or I didn't want my friends, hiding from me when they saw me coming because they thought I was either going to talk to them about the Mary Kay product or the Mary Kay business opportunity. But I just learned that you didn't have to be that way. You would share. All we have to do is we share the product, we share the opportunity, and they either embrace it or they don't. And you just move right along. The friendships I have made in Mary Kay are priceless. And not just my Mary Kay sisters that I've done business with, but my customers. I have customers that I love dearly, them and their families that I didn't know before I started my Mary Kay business. They came from either another customer or chatting them up in the grocery store, or while I was out doing life. Just some very great friendships that I have developed. Now I've had my ups and downs. I've made some mistakes over the years, but I have always bounced back stronger. And I will have to say that in my 26 years of selling Mary Kay, one thing that I have never done was consider quitting. That thought has never crossed my mind. I did some training one week, and I added up what I used personally, and I used $3,000 to $5,000 a year retail worth of product personally. So these girls that do like a 225 wholesale order once a year, I'm like, are you even using this stuff? Really? I use a lot of product, and I would much rather buy it from myself at 50% discount than go support another cosmetic company. I love this business. If you do it the way Mary Kay teaches you to do it, you will be successful, and make a lot of friends in the process. Thank you guys for listening. Bye. Have a great day.